Let's start with a brief introduction. The population of South Korea, whose capital is Seoul, has reached 51.5 million. South Korea is the country with the most ethnically and linguistically homogeneous structure in the world. In other words, minorities make up very little of its population. After the liberation of the military forces of the Soviet Union and USA from the occupation after World War II, North Korea and South Korea were divided into two. Let's take a look at the Korean stuff I have arranged for you. Mass curiosity for cosmetic products. In South Korea, a quarter of men wear makeup routinely, as if it is a part of their daily lives, so that their curiosity turned into an obsession, with makeup expenses reaching $900 million annually. Another interesting piece of information about South Korea is its fondness for plastic surgery. 1/5 of those in the country and 1/3 of those in Seoul prefer eyelid, chin, and nose surgeries. High suicide rate. Despite its high technology, developing economy, and rapid progress reports in education and health, South Korea is the fourth country in the world with the highest suicide rate in 2019, according to researches conducted by World Health Organization. And in the last 15 years, this rate has been increasing. While the majority of those who commit suicide due to reasons such as work stress and social pressure are men, and in the country where access to firearms is prohibited, the rate of suicide is high due to poisoning. In this country where school bullying and celebrity bullying is very high, the suicide of actors and students are seen. These situations may be due to a lack of spirituality. Another country in which South Koreans harbor as much hatred and hostility as North Korean is Japan. Japan annexed Korea in 1910 and Korea remained under Japanese rule for 35 years. Japan apologized to South Korea on the 100th anniversary of its annexation of Korea. They respect the elders very much. For example, nobody sits in the section reserved for the elderly in subways, even if it's empty. High salary for English teachers. We can say that South Korea is one of the most determined countries in the world to learn and speak English, because while the government even produces robot teachers for this, English teachers are held in high esteem in the country. Despite this, it cannot be said that they speak English well. As prestigious as doctors and lawyers around the world, English teachers are valued and rewarded with high salaries. Don't be surprised if you hear "Did you eat well?" instead of "How are you? Are you okay?" Because Koreans take care of eating well. Most Korean people use unofficial English names. Businessmen whose names are difficult to pronounce, or who are in business with foreign countries also use it. Contrary to popular belief, men are not very happy to be called oppa. And it's not common either. Although it's used in TV series, it's an unpopular form of address. Usually, girls call their brothers oppa. They take off their shoes when entering the house. You may even have seen them take off shoes in a rectangular space when entering the house in Korean TV series. The most common surnames are Park, Lee, and Kim. Using both hands to stretch something shows respect. If you are beautiful, you are one step ahead. This statement is quite common. On the basis of this idiom, according to belief from the past, people who are born beautiful have done so much good in their past lives, and this beauty has been granted to them. This is why these people are excused even if they make a big mistake. There are more than 200 kinds of dishes called kimchi, and the main ingredient of this traditional dish is Chinese cabbage and includes many kinds of spices. In the past, parents didn't want their children to marry someone who's not Korean. The rate of marrying foreigners has increased more in recent years. The number 4 brings bad luck. Most people in Korea have a phobia of the number 4, because the Korean 4 is pronounced with the word "so", which means that. Therefore, most people in Korea skip step 4. The procedure used during the exercise of the criminal in South Korea is very famous. Suspects suspected of committing disgraceful crimes such as rape or murder are brought to the crime scene in the handcuffs to repeat how they committed the crime. That's normal apt to know. However, in order to further humiliate the suspect, the police personally invite broadcasters to the crime scene and ensure that all the details of the exercise are broadcast on newspapers and televisions. South Korea's dramas and emerging music culture in South Korea called K-pop are also very popular. Idols sign agreements with companies, and this agreement of course has strict rules. All criteria such as not standing out with a romantic relationship, staying with other group members at the house set by the company, having aesthetic surgery if necessary, and being subjected to a hard-working life are all included in the contract signed by the idols. That's how they achieve those beautiful images. Many people think that these conditions can put pressure on idols. This is all I want to tell about South Korea. If you have something to say, write me in the comments. Make sure you are subscribed and turn on notifications. You can press the like button to encounter this kind of content more. This is Mas here. See you in the next video.